Hi everybody, and welcome to another update from Reece Group as we navigate our way through COVID-19, the pandemic, and also provide you with the very latest updates in terms of how you can keep your small business ticking along as we look to bounce back from COVID-19. Obviously, for those who don't know me, Andrew is my name. I'm a member of the Reece Group communications team, and if you've checked us out either via our website or social media, and you know we're really keen to break everything down in small bite-sized chunks, provide you with plenty of content, and of course connect you with the experts that can answer some of your questions. And today we've got a panel together. We're going to be spending around about the next 15 minutes with you just to try and break down a few of the variables that we're navigating at the moment, as well as give you the latest advice on how you can maybe build your business to be almost COVID proof as we look to bounce back from the restrictions we're experiencing in Victoria. But this is also applicable to everyone around the country. So we're really hoping that you'll engage with us either via LinkedIn. You'll see the video on YouTube. We encourage you to make some comments, share your thoughts, and we'll do our best to answer any of your questions. But without any further ado, I'll introduce the panel, and we've been joined by some experts across their field. First, Johnny Costa, or many people might know you as Life of a Maintenance Plumber. You've got plenty of social media following Johnny, and it's great for you to join us. How's life on the tools?
It's a bit of it's a bit different now with the whole COVID thing going on. So a few obstacles to work around to get the jobs done. Yeah, so it's a little bit different from what we're used to.
We appreciate that, mate, and we'll have more of a chat to you in a little bit. We'll just work our way around the panel. And then James Klein might be a familiar face to many. He's our resident finance man from Klein Partners. And James, clearly a busy time for you, but again, thanks so much, and look forward to hearing your thoughts in a little bit around how people can get their books in order, but importantly, take advantage of that government stimulus. How are you, mate?
I'm very well, Huey. It's great to see you, mate. And yeah, it's a busy time of year, but we'll be right. We're going to get through this okay.
Yeah, no, we will. And the government's really giving us a good platform to help with those books and the management of that as we look to bounce back from COVID-19. And then closing out the loop, we've got a sort of a real tech expert as we look to find new and different ways of building that support network and making sure we're here to help each other navigate the current environment we find ourselves in. Chris Pattenden, CEO of Good Work, which is a technology product that is part of the Reece Group. Chris, it's great for you to join us, mate, and all looking comfortable at your end and where you are at the moment.
Thanks, Huey. Nice to be here. Yeah, I'm in the bedroom actually, tucked away with the daughter probably going to arrive home during our chat. So got to tuck into the corner here and hopefully not disrupt our conversation. But yeah, nice to join you all.
Yeah, beauty. And we'll have plenty of links for how you can connect with all of our experts here. But Johnny, we might kick things off with you because I'm very interested. Obviously, in my role at Reece, we've been really connected with our customers and, as I said, trying to provide them with all the resources and tools to help them navigate their way through this current environment. But from your perspective, mate, what's it actually like running a business at the moment? Particularly, I know you're sort of a customer of the Heidelberg team, which is on the outskirts of Melbourne. How are you finding it sort of on that front line of the provision of essential services at the moment?
Well, yeah, we're very fortunate. We do maintenance plumbing, so it's all mainly emergencies, which it's sort of slowed down a little bit, but we're still just constantly got a nice flow of jobs coming in to keep us busy every day. So we're lucky because we're only two of us, so we're a small business.
Yep.
A lot of people I know have got a large business with a lot of guys running it, as maybe struggling. They've got a few days off here and there just to sort of, not to lay them off or whatever, but they've got, 1 week on, 1 week off sort of stuff. But we're very fortunate. It's just two of us, so we can, putt along and get through our days.
And what's been your area of focus, mate? So, there'd be a lot of small businesses that would be watching this at the moment. What have some of those trickier areas been that you've had to navigate in terms of, first lockdown across Victoria and now the second one? Obviously, we've got to be really healthy as plumbers in the way we actually go out and engage with customers. So you'd have a lock on that area. But what have been some of the real challenges or some areas that you and your mates have chatted about that have presented some issues for you?
Well, everyone's different. We do a lot of real estate stuff, and we go to some places where the tenants might be all la-di-da about the whole thing. They're like, don't worry about your mask in here, we don't believe in that. And we're like, okay. And then you get to some where it's hang on, I'll get my mask. And then you get to some houses where they're all like they've just seen an alien walk in and they're all hiding behind the wall and all sorts of stuff, and just like, but yeah, just keeping our mask and, you know, gloves and cleaning, you know, sanitizing hands before and after and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's probably the most.
Obviously, you're probably a bit more advanced in terms of use of social media, so that might lead us into that sort of tech space. How are you going about building your own network and sort of keeping the jobs flowing? You say you've got a steady flow, but obviously there's a shift in how you're going about acquiring new business or building that network. Are you using technology and social media to help you do that?
We are a little bit. We're not sort of relying on it, but we have sort of been getting some jobs from just, you know, purely IG. But we're not sort of pushing it because we haven't really had the need to start looking for work. Like we've always had constant sort of stuff for, you know, many, many years, which we're very lucky for. But we do get bits and pieces off Instagram as well, but we haven't really focused it, you know, we haven't really advertised and stuff like that. But people just, you know, they'll see where we always put it in our areas that we work in, and we'll get a few locals, you know, send us a message and, you know, give us a quote on this, or can you do this? Can I have a look at this, sort of that kind of stuff, which has been really good.
Yeah.
But we haven't really sort of, you know, focused on it, but it's just been coming through.
No, that's good to hear. And I mean, we've got Jimmy here. I'm not sure if you've got some finance questions for him, or in terms of the stimulus measures that you've looked to take advantage of as a small business. But Jimmy, maybe we come to you now. I know you're close with a lot of people that are on the trade, you know, broadening out beyond plumbing. What have been some of those key questions that have been coming back to you as we look at the new round of stimulus measures that have been announced as Victoria looks to build a better economic base to help them bounce back from what's going to be a real struggle in this second half of the 2020?
Well, most of the questions I've been facing in the last fortnight has been around the eligible employees for 2.0 JobKeeper. JobKeeper 1.0 finishes up at the end of September, which will be here quicker than we know it. And then there's round 2. Now, the construction industry is going to be taking more advantage of 2.0 than they are 1.0, especially here in Melbourne, as there wasn't much interruption to work up until 3 weeks ago. So 2.0 eligibility is the key here. Now, they have relaxed the rules. They did announce the rules a couple of weeks ago that you're going to be down 30% for the June and September quarter. What they've announced recently is you only have to be down one of those 2 quarters, mainly the September quarter. So for our tradies out there who felt the pinch over the last month, anywhere up and down the eastern seaboard, the September quarter is going to qualify you for at least for the 3 months of 2.0.
Yeah. And what about when it comes to managing the books yourself as a small business? Obviously, you're calling the support of your accountant, but there's obviously some technology that can help with that, James. So are you finding that some of those products are actually aligning to the stimulus measures that are available, or are they even giving some of their customers an alert if they have got access to MyOb or some of those products that we know are available?
That's right. So a lot of the incentive programs do rely on 2 things. One, your sales for the period, but also the eligibility of employees through your payroll. So the reporting through your payroll, if you do have payroll employees on your books, you need to report to the ATO their single touch payroll, which is the system they use to report the employees' wages to the ATO. That has to be up to date. So these software platforms, MyOb, QuickBooks, Xero, all the others, are frameworks for you to be able to manage that very, very easily.
Yeah. And Johnny, maybe back to you quickly before we go to Chris to talk about that tech piece. Johnny, how are you finding managing your books through this period? I mean, you said you've got a steady workflow, but are you using technology to sort of help you when it comes to accounting and sort of moving your business from that old school traditional way of doing things into the new age tech and digital environment?
We have slowly been we've sort of been moving along with, you know, with the technology, but it's been, well, we've sort of moved before it sort of all this kicked in. So we've all fine. We're pretty up to date, but we're keeping it pretty simple for the books sort of wise of things.
Yeah. What about ordering product and stuff like that, Matt? I know you're a customer out at Reece Heidelberg. Do you use any of the products that they've got available, like Max, to help order online or click and collect and the delivery service and that sort of thing?
Yep. Yeah. The Max app, that's pretty good. Even for quoting and stuff like that, you can access your prices, you know, at 1 a.m, you know, if you're trying to rush a quote through.
Yep.
That's pretty good. Ordering materials, you can have it pre-order, you know, while you're sleeping and, you know, you're about to go to bed, you can pre-order it and get it delivered, you know, at your time and job site the next day.
Yep.
That's pretty good. we have Click and Collect. I think they're pretty good with I think they're only at this stage doing all the public customers Click and Collect. We're pretty all right to get in and grab our stuff.
Yep. In a safe environment, of course, you're able to go in.
Safe environment. Yeah. They've closed it off. They've because we usually walk around the back, go to the toilet, go to the hang out with the staff, whatever down the back, and now it's all shut shop. So we're not really allowed back there anymore.
It'll be back. It'll be back to normal before you know it, mate. The numbers are coming down, and hopefully we'll bounce back. So, Chris, that probably brings us to you. We've talked a little bit about the Max app and some of the technology available for Reece customers. If we look at Good Work as a product, and as we said, using technology or even social media to build a network of people, not just to share your great work, but to help you get more work, how are you finding Good Work's being utilised at the moment? And maybe did you want to take a step back as CEO of Good Work and give us a summary of what Good Work, the app and the technology does to assist people right now?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Huey. So Good Work's a professional networking app for tradies. So our goal is to be able to enable tradies to build a profile quickly and easily, i.e. 5 minutes, upload a photo, a little bit about yourself and some examples of your work. And by hosting that profile on the Good Work app, you can then connect to trades. And really, my passion, I've got a lot of passion for this space, I suppose, because networking and the connections I've made through my career have been what have helped me get the jobs that I've wanted to find along the way. And I think that's true of all industries. If we can find a way to connect trades to one another and to deepen their relationships by connecting online, by sharing examples of their work, by speaking to each other through the profile, hopefully that'll deepen their relationship and expose them to opportunities that they may not have been. And so that's really what Good Work's all about. You mentioned jobs, and it's a job platform too, so you can upload jobs. It's tradie to tradie, by the way. I should be specific about that. So it's tradies wanting to connect with each other and give work to one another. And
yeah, right.
We've certainly seen a pretty good spike of jobs in the last month, which is perhaps not what you'd expect. There's been 50 odd jobs come on in the last month or so, a lot of them in Melbourne and in Victoria, despite the downturn. So I think there are opportunities there, and certainly driven from what I can tell from the maintenance work to your work too, John. So yeah, that's what we're about. It's a free app. We are trying to enable tradies to do something in this time where your work might be down, but hey, maybe you can build a profile and start to connect to one another now, which will hopefully help you as we come out of this.
Yeah, right. And I suppose, Johnny, that gets back to your point before, when it comes to building that network, word of mouth is great, but obviously if you're involved in social media, mate, then technology will increasingly play a role in how you're going about getting new work. I mean, it only has to be a matter of time, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty, it's just even you pretty much learning something new every day, even on socials and all the apps that are coming out and things like that, just trying to, but for me, like I just got way too much. Once you've invested your time into one sort of program, it's hard to sit there and spend time somewhere else into something else.
Yeah.
But if I was just a normal tradie, then I'd have a lot more free time and I could look into, all different kind of apps. But yeah, for me, the Instagram thing's so time consuming. It's almost like a part, almost a full-time job.
You got 40,000 followers, mate, and clearly your product placement and Rothenberger. I'm not sure if the Moose is officially a sponsor of yours, but clearly Rothenberger are getting their 2 cents worth of all your social media followers.
Yeah,
that's great news, Johnny. So, well, just on social then, what's your advice for if you might be a small operator and you're thinking about it? Obviously, you talk about the time it takes. You've got to make sure you've got the knowledge and expertise. Did you just find your way over time, or have you got some tools that you rely on in terms of building that digital and social media?
The first thing when I started was just keeping it real. So there's a lot of on social media. So if you look at my page, I just keep it real. If there's a blockage and there's crap everywhere, well, I'm going to show that. I'm not going to, So just keeping it real, not really talking about tools, and people can spot if you're talking crap about a tool or a job or how much you're making or whatever, that kind of stuff. Just keeping it real, showing people, and then people sort of people trust me and they don't even they've never met me before, and they'll ring you up from social media, like from local.
I feel like I know you. We were having a casual conversation the first time we chatted. You had no idea who I was, so I get that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Tony, we feel like mates already. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Like just yeah, even like random customers who will see me on Instagram, and they're like, "Oh, we really trust you," and blah blah blah. I'm like, "Oh, okay, great," So just keeping it real. If you're gonna build, if you want to advertise your business on there as well, just and the areas you work in, just make sure you're tagging what areas you're working and that kind of stuff, and even doing the stories, which are 15-second videos, and just introducing yourself and keeping it real that way, and then people follow, get to know you that way as well.
Yep.
And what you're doing every day. And
perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have all the links to Life of a Maintenance Plumber. You said IG before for the older generation. That's Instagram, of course. But we'll have all of Johnny's links up. And mate, really enjoyed your insights. And I reckon, if you don't mind, we'll probably do this again soon and just check in with you again as we bounce back from COVID-19. Jimmy, as we leave with you, you always love it, mate. Give us your top 3 areas of focus for people as we're, really looking towards the 6 weeks to end in Victoria, but then more broadly as the rest of the state opens up. What are the 3 key areas of focus you've got for tradies who are looking to balance their books and get things ready for the bounce back?
Well, I would be in this time. It's normally this time of year is normally the season for insurance renewal. So your insurances and how much you're paying on each premiums. Now, insurance markets across the globe are quite strong, so there is opportunity here to push back on your brokers. That's number one.
Negotiate.
And saying that, if you've got any finance in your business too, talk to your banks. Push them. Credit's cheap. Get onto them. Right? They want your business. If you're making money and you're doing the right thing, they still want to keep you. So my advice today is to push back on a couple of those expenses in your business and see what you can come up with.
Yeah, beauty. And Chris, obviously, technology is going to continue to play an ever-evolving role in the way everyone runs their lives, let alone plumbers and tradies do business. What about you, mate? What's a top tip from Good Work? Obviously, we're going to share some of those jobs that you talked about. Obviously, there are more and more coming, but building that network is really critical. And I suppose Good Work is an app where you can, build your own profile and grow that network in a virtual space or a digital space.
Yeah, I'd probably say a couple of things. It's a great time to support one another. So we're all trying to win work and stay ahead of the pack. But I think during this, with this environment as it is at the moment, if you can reach out with a comment or a suggestion on how you might be able to do something better, or how you might be able to access the latest piece of technology, or whatever it is, I'm in favour of that. And those helping each other always comes back in spades. So probably that's one. Sharing examples of your work, Johnny, I like that example that you talked through there. It's one thing to say, hey, I'm a great plumber, hire me. It's another thing to show some evidence of the work you've done and how you've been able to solve tricky problems. So yeah, continue to post examples of your work. Obviously, Good Work allows that, which is part of the hat I'm wearing today. But I think sharing that examples of your work is a really good way to add bona fides to what you're doing.
Yeah, and keeping it real, I think, is what I'm taking from Johnny too. Don't try and manufacture it too much.
Yeah.
No Vaseline on the lens, no need for a Steven Spielberg style production. You just get straight into it and get elbow deep, as they say. Yeah. Hey, everyone, thanks so much for your time today. This is the first vodcast we're going to give a crack to in terms of the Reece Group content that you'll see as we look to bounce back from COVID-19. We're really hoping to be able to bring you another edition of this and again, connect with some of our experts. If you've got questions, please leave them in the comments section on YouTube, or even share it with your networks on LinkedIn or any other social network you see it on. We'll try and answer to as many requests as we get. Stay safe during what is going to be a challenging time, and we'll look forward to seeing everyone again on the same channels in the coming weeks. Thanks.